Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Dog Training at the Kitchen Table. This episode is going to be a part 2 to the video, Don't Touch My Dog, Don't Pet My Dog, and Don't Even Ask. That last video produced a lot of conversations that were great. They were healthy dialogues about why it should be okay to ask to pet other people's dogs. I do think some people were offended because they are the kind of people who do ask all the time. And they felt that this was a personal attack, that they should be allowed to ask to pet other people's dogs. A few situations have come up as of recently that have made me want to revisit this topic so quickly, because I just did it just like a week or two ago. So I wanted to revisit this topic, revisit this conversation, and a few things have taken place that have helped me actually put into better words why asking is in fact not okay. So I was at a pet store the other day, and I was having a conversation with a woman who was talking about getting to know a certain breed that she wanted to have. And she's at a dog show. Oh, let me make room for Beth to lay down. She was at a dog show, and she ran into this certain breed. I'm going to keep it as vague as possible. And she was like, oh, this is the one. This is the kind of dog that I want to have. And she went up to this gentleman. She's at a dog show. She went up to this gentleman and asked if she could pet his dog. He said no. As she's telling me the story, she says in disgust, why would you have him at a dog show if people couldn't pet him? Maybe because I'm at a dog show to show my dog. And in fact, I am not here, and he is not here, for other people's entertainment or amusement. When I heard this, I could not help but to think, all of the women, all of the college students, all of the high school students, and all of the grown women of the world who go to a club or to a party, and could you imagine some guy coming up to you saying, hey babe, want to go upstairs and fool around? No, I don't want to do that. What are you doing here then? Do you hear? It's the exact same thing. I am not here for anyone's entertainment or amusement, and my dog is not here for anyone's amusement or entertainment. It is about consent. He said no. So why I don't like when people ask is because they're asking to hear yes. They're expecting to hear yes. They're not expecting to hear no, and they are not prepared to respect when they're told no. They simply want to be told yes. And that's my issue with it. Now, if you're the kind of person who's watching this video and you're screaming at the screen right now saying, no, I respect and I want to hear the right answer and I want to respect then I'm not talking about you. There's no reason to get defensive if this isn't about you. But if the shoe fits, that's probably why you're getting defensive. Fishy. She's being a busybody. And this isn't just one person. So as I was thinking about doing this video, I thought all of the arguments are like, well, that's one person. You know what? It isn't one person. So at a different situation, at a different pet store, I'm having a conversation with this wonderful owners of this, I don't know, he could have been a pit or an American bulldog. He was a bully breed. And a woman walks over. I'm so glad I actually have a dog to demonstrate with. She walks over, does this to him, and says, is he dangerous? Your hand is already on him. There was never a chance for the owners to say, yes, he is. Now, he wasn't dangerous, not even close. But there wasn't even a chance for them to say he was if he had been. She had already expected to hear, no, he isn't dangerous. Go ahead and touch him. She was not prepared to hear the right answer, and she was not prepared to respect whatever that answer might have been. Her hands were already on him. All right, so again, not an isolated incident. In the exact same conversation, the situation, the same woman, the same dog, the same family, he gets excited and jumps up. Now, before she had approached, he was sitting calmly by one of his owner's side. On his leash, sitting calmly, she approached, puts her hand right up on his mouth, asks if he's dangerous. He gets overly excited and he begins to jump up. This woman begins to belt out orders at him. Off, off, off. And to no avail. He is not listening one bit. He ends up putting his feet on his female owner, his mom, for lack of a better word. And she says to her dog, "Oh, that's okay. You can put your feet on mom." And this woman has the nerve to turn to her and say, "No, he can't. If he puts feet on you, he wants to put feet on everyone." You approached without asking. You put your hands on him without asking. And your half fake attempt at asking, but your hands are already on him. And then you start to belt out orders at him. And then you have the nerve and the audacity to tell his owner what is acceptable and what isn't. My mind is blown. So no, don't pet my dog. Don't even ask. Just leave us alone. And let me further this by saying this isn't even two situations. I have another one. A great friend of mine was out walking her dog at a popular park. Her dog has issues with loud vehicles, so big trucks, school buses, motorcycles, and in the park happens to be a motorcycle. I'm going to get my husky something to do. Hang on one moment. So in the park, there happens to be a motorcycle. The motorcyclist sees that the dog is having a poor reaction to him driving by, and he slows way down so that the noise is kept quieter. But this doesn't entirely help, and this poor dog is still barking and a bit upset. A woman in a parked car starts to scream to the dog, "Oh, you poor baby, are you okay? You poor baby." Approaches him, never makes eye contact, never says anything to the two owners that are standing right beside him, and hugs his face while he's barking. Now, who would have been held responsible had he nipped her in the face and in his upset? Would the dog have been blamed? Would the owners have been blamed? And this becomes a question of, why would you even bring him out there if he couldn't handle it? People will ask that all the time because he handled everything up until that motorcycle. He can't get out of the house and enjoy a day because a motorcycle might upset him, but more importantly, because some yahoo just sitting around waiting, I suppose, for some poor dog to wrap her arms around his head because she's going to come over here and grab his face. How ridiculous. Let me tell you something. I am terrified of all things that fly and sting. So bees, wasps, yellow jackets, whatever, hornets, it doesn't matter. I still leave my house, even though it'll send me into a complete panic if I see one. All right? You can't just not go somewhere because something might upset you. All right? And there was a time I was training at a local pet store, and they had their training arena, and a wasp flew in, and this guy, he was coming into class, was taller than me, and I'm 6 feet tall, was taller than me, built like a brick house, and I barreled through him to get out of the training arena because this freaking wasp. Could you imagine if he had grabbed me and bear hugged me and made me stay there? I probably would have bit his ear off. All right? I was in panic. You don't grab someone, and it's mind-boggling that people understand that with people, but they don't understand that with dogs. Where is the disconnect? As scientists are coming up with more and more proof and information about what dogs know, think, feel, and understand, the society, the public is becoming totally and utterly, I have bad words I want to say, they're becoming stupid about how they handle dogs. It's just unacceptable. I asked this woman, my friend, if I could tell this story in this next video, in this video that I'm doing now, in part 2 to Don't Touch My Dog, Don't Even Ask. And I wanted all the details of the story and so on and so forth. And she sends me an email and she sends me a completely different story. And I'm like, what? Julie, what? That's not the one. The one about the park. And she says to me, oh yeah, gives me the details about it and says, isn't it sad that I've had so many encounters with so many people who are not respecting our space that I didn't know which one you were asking me about. It is sad. It is sad. And that's what I mean. These are not isolated incidents. This is not a one-time situation. This is not a one-time deal. This is people all over the world truly not respecting not only the dog space, but the owner's space as well. We're in the camper. She's bouncing around. And it doesn't just stop there. I've been out with my German Shepherd, and men have wanted to touch her before, and she's not keen on being touched. She's composed and under control and very obedient, but she does not want to be touched. I advocate for her. When we're out in public and someone wants to touch her, I simply tell them, no, you can't. That would be too much for her. She does not need to be pet. I have had grown men continue to walk towards me as I back up with my dog. No, 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 please don't touch my dog. Please don't touch my dog. And I'm backing up. Continue approaching me saying, no, all dogs love me. All dogs love me. Now, remove the dog. Remove the dog. Hey, babe, can I hug you? No, I don't want a hug from a stranger. And they keep coming closer. No, really, let me give you a hug. All women love me. Ah! Do you see? It is exactly the same thing. It is exactly the same thing. I could just lose my mind. Put yourself in the dog situation. Put yourself or your children in the dog situation. I am saying no. Do not touch my dog. Not all dogs love you. I don't care if you're wearing a hot dog suit. Honey, you're so excited. Okay? I don't care if you're wearing a suit full of hot dogs. Not all dogs are going to love you, and it does not matter if they do. I have said no. That's it. Respect that. The same as I don't want to be hugged, or you're standing in line and someone's breathing on your neck and you take a step forward to get away from them and they step even closer and breathe on your neck some more. Ugh, how uncomfortable. Right? And we are expecting our dogs to accept everything that happens to them, and not only accept it, but to somehow like it. To like people getting in their faces and hugging them when they're stressed, and we're expecting that all dogs everywhere have to be friendly under all circumstances. It is simply, not only is it not fair, but it's something we would never expect of humans. Your child is shy and they duck behind your leg. You don't force them into the hand of a stranger. In fact, you tell your children about stranger danger and that you don't talk to or take things from strangers. But our dogs are expected to talk to, be pet by, and take things from everyone. How absurd. How ridiculous. And if we take away the dog, and we take away even children, and we just say it to ourselves, what is your dog doing here if they can't be pet? What are you doing here if you don't want to fool around? How silly. How stupid. How ridiculous. It is beyond insane that you would think all dogs everywhere need to accept everything when you don't. So this is a conversation on consent, and I'd like everyone to think a little harder about when someone says, no, you can't pet my dog. No one owes you an explanation. No one is in the environment for you, your entertainment, or your satisfaction. They are there for themselves. Have fun with your best buddies today.